This is our Millennial Moment interview. As you all know, my name is Josh Jones, and I have a very special interviewee that was spotlighting this week. This is a dear friend of mine. We actually, matter of fact, I'm gonna leave the introduction part to him to just kind of introduce himself, let you all know who he is, his relationship to Friendly, into the Friendly family, and then we're going to get into this interview because I think there's a lot we can all learn from this brother's testimony and just the good work he's doing up to date in his life. So, Myron, just introduce yourself to the people. Let them know who you are and what we gonna be getting into today.
Absolutely. Hello, Friendly Temple. My name is Myron Burr. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. I currently live in U City and work for Lindenwood University. I had the pleasure of meeting Josh during our college days at DePaul University. We were on the same football team together. When I moved to St. Louis about 3 years ago, Josh was one of the first people that kind of reached out to me, invited me over to Friendly Temple, and I've been rocking with Friendly Temple ever since.
Yes, sir. So yeah, no. So me and Myron, we go way back to the good old days. If you don't know about DePaul, that's DePaul with a W. You said those folks always taking me to DePaul in Chicago. That's DePaul with a W.
A W because we winners.
We're winners. That's it. All we do is win. So no. So yeah. So we me and Myron go way back, and we've had a lot of ups and downs on the football field, and just living their college life is we get a lot of stories that we won't cover on this interview today. So yeah, Myron, so just tell the folks a little bit more about what you do at Lindenwood. So what exactly is your role at Lindenwood?
So my 9 to 5 position that pays the bills at Lindenwood, I'm an instructional designer inside of academic affairs. So I help all of our faculty design their online classes essentially. In addition to being an instructional designer for Lindenwood, I have the pleasure of serving as one of the co-chairs for our diversity, equity, and inclusion DEI task force on campus. And in that position, I get to be involved with a few high-level conversations. I get the chance to meet with the president monthly and kind of do some work inside of our center in diversity and inclusion as well.
Okay. Yeah, and I know more recently, like you within that role, you did like a day of dialogue, and I know it was the first one for Lindenwood.
Yes, sir. So we did a campus-wide event for faculty, staff, students, alumni, community members, anyone who really wanted to be involved in the process. We did a day of dialogue where we paused the normal activities of the university and kind of came together as a campus collective to explore the theme of civic engagement and social awareness. Given some of the events that transpired in the summer of 2020, we felt that it was a good time to come together as a university to kind of talk about some of these things and find healing in that. So yeah, this was the first of its kind. I was charged with kind of coming up with the idea and putting it into fruition. We had about 600 registered guests for the event. It was a day long. Dr. Claude Steele from Stanford University gave our keynote. Mrs. Emily Pitts, she gave our closing keynote. She's centered here in St. Louis. So yeah, it was a lot of work. By the grace of God, it turned out great.
Yeah. So what would you say was like the most fulfilling part of that day? Like what made you most proud to be a part of the organization, the organizing of that event?
Yeah, so what kind of made me feel the most proud was just the way that it was received. Lindenwood historically is a white institution, a very, very white institution. And while they do have Judeo-Christian values, it's been very centered in whiteness. So for them to allow us this opportunity to kind of say, okay, let's recognize where we are, both historically and present, and look towards the future and pull that together. Man, it was awesome. The day after the event, I had so many emails, text messages, phone calls saying this was great. How can we do this again? How can we build upon this, do this for next year? Somebody even suggested we sent out a survey, and I just reviewed the survey results this week. Somebody even suggested that we do a week of dialogue. Wow. I don't think we're going to do a week of dialogue. Planning for a day was stressful enough, but just the overwhelming amount of support that we received from that is just truly amazing.
Yeah. No, I think anytime you're putting that much time and effort and energy for such an important cause, especially in spaces like what you described, for it to be written with, this, well, for lack of better, call it what it is, white supremacy, and how things have kind of transpired in St. Louis, in this state of Missouri for a long time, to be able to do something like that and for it to be received as well as it sounds like it was is huge. It's huge. So my guess is that when you get to do that type of work and get to be in a position like that where you can plan and kind of come up with this idea, you probably got some people that have inspired you, some things that have inspired you. So what do you think has inspired you to reach the goals that you've reached up until now at this point in your life?
Absolutely. So I have a lot of like people who I was just consider mentors in my life, in my professional life, and in my personal life. The first mentor would be Dr. Sean Williamson. When I was at Lindenwood, I was involved in the DEI task force, but I was more like a silent partner. And Dr. Williamson kind of took me under her arm and was like, no, 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 no. You can't be quiet no more. I need you to start speaking up, doing this and doing a little bit more. And I took over as co-chair. We had an election process, and I took over as co-chair last May. And Dr. Williamson, before the election, reached out and said, so I'm going to nominate you, and you're going to do this. It wasn't no option. It was, you're going to do this. So make sure you got your speech ready, because you're going to have to talk for yourself. I was like, okay, Dr. Williamson, which has been great. I didn't foresee the events of 2020 playing out how they did. So I stepped into the role right as a lot of racial tensions were just boiling over, especially in the city of St. Louis and the surrounding areas. This has been racial injustice and social justice has been on the minds of people since 2015. So kind of came to a head this summer, and I stepped into that, and I really didn't know what way to go, which way to go, how to do it. I identify a lot with Moses. I had a Moses moment, like, God, you put me in this position, but are you sure I'm the person for this position right now? Are you sure?
I got to stutter, Lord.
Yeah, I don't know if you really need me in this leadership position, Lord. But God kind of said, just be still, trust in the process, and you're going to be okay. So it was a learning moment for me. I had to learn how to deal with no's, planning an event of this magnitude, of this size. There are a lot of no's that you encounter along the way. But even in that process, for every 2 no's we got 5 yeses. And that's really what was encouraging about this.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, and I'm guessing part of that role in that position had a little bit to do about that accomplishment, because you just won an award recently, didn't you?
I did. So I won I was nominated and received the 2021 Martin Luther King Jr. Leadership Award for Service Excellence for our university. And it just embodies everything that Dr. King kind of stood for: social justice, leadership, excellence, and serving it forward. So servant leadership, essentially. Yeah. So I was blessed and honored to receive that award. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think any award you're receiving in the name and in the honor of the likes of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I think it's something to celebrate and be proud of. That's for sure. So and in all of this, and you've already talked about kind of connecting and relating to Moses. So what role has your faith experience played in your goals and all the things that you've accomplished?
Oh, faith has just been a big part of everything for me, especially here lately. When COVID hit last year around this time, it for lack of better words, it sent everybody into a discombobulation, myself included. I'm naturally outgoing person. I enjoy the company of others, and COVID really kind of forced us to stay inside the house, shut her down, which was a blessing in disguise. I struggle a lot with forging ahead on my own path, and the Lord tells us, be still, I am the Lord. Those that wait patiently on the Lord should be renewed. So I struggled with just sitting still. I really did. But in that stillness, I was able to kind of reconnect with the Lord through my daily devotions, tuning in to Friendly Temple on Sundays, and kind of just recenter my life around Christ and around God, and really listen and hone in to say, okay, God, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Direct me, be that light unto my feet. Where do I need to go? And even as I kind of look back my St. Louis journey, the entire 3 years, like, I was in Indiana and I knew I needed to leave Indiana and I didn't know where to go. I wanted to go back to get my master's degree and I was thinking it was business. I had interviewed with Olin and Wash U, and they waitlisted me and they were like, not at this moment in time. And I was kind of discouraged about that. I landed at Lindenwood, took kind of like a semester or so to kind of figure out where I wanted to go, and landed on like a master's of art in higher education. Thankfully, by the grace of God, I'll be finishing here in 2 months. But even in that moment 2 years ago, I was kind of discouraged. Like, man, I need to get an MBA. I don't need no master's of arts in higher education. But taking that journey and taking that leap of faith inside of pursuing that master's of higher education has allowed me to explore equity and inclusion issues inside of higher education from a way that I wouldn't have had the opportunity if I would have studied business. It also connected me to Dr. Williamson, who has become one of my mentors in this process for equity and inclusion along the way. So just that's kind of how my faith has been centered, just looking back over my life and seeing how the Lord has guided me along the way, and then taking this COVID year essentially and rooting me and planting me and saying, no more distractions, focus up, and let's kind of move through this together.
Yeah, no, that's huge, because I think this season of big Rona, this COVID-19 season it's been a space where people have really struggled. Like it's put people in a space to where, because like you said, I think there's a lot of people that struggle with that stillness and being still. But like you said, it can serve in a lot of ways as a distraction from our purpose.
Mm-hmm.
For God to be able to, plant those seeds within us to order our steps in the ways that you just described is, I think ultimately, like, I think a lot of people, they've struggled, like, where is God at in all of this, pandemic stuff? And I think that's one of the key ways that he's worked in this season for a lot of people. He's allowed people to he's given people that room. He's demanded that room from people to focus on him and what he has for us, and what he tells us that is most important for us. Because like we might have had that MBA in mind, but God's like, nah, we got this, and this is what it's going to take you, and watch me work in this way. Like, you're not going to tell me what's best for you, because
right. I was definitely trying to order my own steps, and God's like, no. Bishop said a few weeks ago, he was talking about Moses being a basket case. I was that basket case, and God kind of was like, you on this river, let me take you out this basket and show you how to go. So yeah, I appreciated that sermon for sure.
Nah, he'll definitely take you to the palace and let you get taught by the pharaohs and all those folks and all those people that can yeah, we won't get too deep. I ain't gonna preach on that. I let the bishop handle the preaching. But with that said, man, I'm sure with your experiences that you've had a lot of accomplishments that you strive for, you fought for, and that you sat still for. So with that said, like, what advice would you offer others who are maybe on similar paths in this COVID season, or just in general, what it takes for them to accomplish their goals?
Just truly, I know this sounds cliche, but put your faith in the Lord, and you won't be disappointed. And that faith and that test comes in different ways for different people, but truly believe that. Don't listen to the doubt. Doubt is it's a natural human occurrence, but the Lord is bigger than everything. No weapon shall form against you. And I truly believe that. Not even the self-inflicted weapons that we sometimes bring upon ourselves. So just continue to have faith, be encouraged, be inspired, pray daily. Prayer has been a big part of my reconnecting with the Lord during these COVID times, and just allow him to move through you for others.
That's it. No, I think that prayer piece is so important, man, because I think a lot of us, like we feel like we have this relationship with God just based off of how he's working and moving in our lives. But like, God wants an intimate relationship with us. Like, we couldn't have a relationship with our dads, our parents, our people in our lives, significant others. Right. If we weren't communicating, like, God wants us communicating and convene with him in a way that is allows him to work within us. So now that prayer piece is so crucial.
Prayer is so huge. And you don't even have to always be praying about yourself. What I found in this year, sometimes I go talk to God and pray, and it's not even about me. It's about my brother. It's about, I got a friend in Indianapolis who's doing some things with real estate. I'm praying for him. He don't even know I'm praying for him. Like, man, I see you out here. You're doing good things. Just pray. Just get out there and just do it. And then it becomes more natural along the way.
Yeah. No, because he'll meet you where you're at. And I think a lot of people that, especially coming from the Black church, they used to this like big, bolsterous prayer, like the altar prayer type of thing. It's like, no, God just needs you to like talk to him. Like he knows who you are.
Yes.
Right where you're at and connect with you. And like you said, I think there's so much power in not centering the prayer around. Not that you shouldn't pray for what your needs are, what you desire from God, but he'll certainly. I feel like he has a particular type of blessing for those of us who are willing to use our connection to him to benefit those that we love and that we care about.
Absolutely.
That's for certain. So, all right, man. So before we get into some of these fun questions, how can people stay connected with you and your work? Where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at BurrSoCold, BurrSoCold. You can find me on Instagram at BurrSoCold, Facebook, Myron Hayes, that's my middle name. You can call me 317-289-0449, email mhburrjr@gmail.com. So yeah, any way that you guys want to stay connected with me, I'm here. Reach out to me and we can kind of get the ball moving on some equity and inclusion issues.
Absolutely. Yeah. So when we get this video posted, we'll make sure that all that information is, attached to this video. So if you're interested in what Myron is talking about and the good work he's doing over at Lindenwood, we'll make sure that you get the connections that you need. That's because that's what a lot of this work, these interviews that we're doing is a part of. We're helping people to increase our network so that we can, know that we're not alone in taking faith with us into the workspace, taking faith with us into accomplishing our goals.
Absolutely.
All right. So here's the fun questions. Here's the get to know Myron questions a little bit. So Myron, what is your favorite food? It's a tough one.
Ooh. Barbecue. I would say barbecue. And every city, every place think they got the best barbecue. But I will say, when I first moved to St. Louis, I stumbled on Pappy's Smokehouse down in the city. And that is some of the best barbecue I've ever had in my life. Like this little hole in the wall spot I had in Memphis a few years ago, and Pappy's Smokehouse. That's the best barbecue. So I'm gonna go Pappy's Smokehouse.
Yeah. Heard it here first, folks. St. Louis barbecue. They allow for the people over in that other city in Missouri and Kansas City. They always up and down on us in St. Louis about barbecue. So
I have been to Kansas City. They barbecue. It's okay. It's all right. But
that's good. And I appreciate their barbecue. But St. Louis barbecue, I feel like it's got a little something extra.
It does.
Have you tried Red's barbecue down in Ferguson?
I have not tried Red's barbecue.
You got to slide over to Red's.
What the barbecue I'm really interested in is Mike Jones. Mike Jones too. He be on the grill. I'm trying to get me a plate.
3-4 times a week on the grill.
I'm trying to get me a plate, Mike. If you see this, Mike, send me a plate.
No, when the outside opened up and folks vaccinated and stuff, we're gonna have to have a little grill out. We can figure that out. Have you over to the
absolutely.
No doubt. All right, so let me see. I got a few lists of these questions. So when you're not working, how do you like to spend your time?
So I like to be outside. If ideally, if I could, I'd be at a lake somewhere, sitting on the dock, enjoying a nice adult beverage. But it's not every weekend you can do that. But so you can catch me outside. I like to grill every now and then, cook out, kick it with the friends, walk the dog. Me and my fiance, we sometimes just sit outside in the porch, just chill. I'm really low key.
Yeah, I understand how it goes. Shout out to Maggie, by the way. She's the MVP of this interview, if we're being honest. All right. That's his fiance. So this is the next one. I'm gonna do 2 more. I'm trying because I got a list of like 10 questions. So I'm not gonna ask all of them. What are you currently reading? What you reading right now? So word. You sound like you've been doing something.
A lot of what I have been reading has been focused on inside of social justice, equity, and inclusion in my master's program. So I've been reading The Diversity Bonus by Scott Page. I've been reading a lot of work on intergroup dialogue by Nagda and Guerin. I've been reading some of the works by Dr. Lori Patton. So yeah, I've been reading a lot of educational work, but my devotional though is Jesus Calling by Sarah Young. So I would throw that in there for people who don't necessarily want to be reading about diversity all the time.
That's fair. No, it's gonna sound like some good picks. Some good picks. So last question. Which one of these do I want to do? If someone were to play you in a movie, who would you want it to be?
Oh, it gotta be Idris Elba.
I can see it, especially you got the mustache now. I can see it.
Go ahead. Let me get the British bombshell. Idris Elba. He can even give me a British accent if he wanted to. That's who I would want to play me. But you know, give a nod to St. Louis, Sterling Davis. A lot of people say I look like him. He's a great actor. He could play me.
I can see that. It's Sterling Brown.
Sterling Brown, my bad. Sterling Brown, my bad. Sterling Brown. Yeah, he could play me too. But if I got to choose, if I'm piloting a movie, it's gonna be Idris.
I'm not mad at that at all. I'm mad at that at all. All right, Myron, that's all I got for us this morning, man. I'm not gonna hold you too long. No, again, I appreciate you hopping on this Zoom call with me and getting this interview in. And I think a lot of folks are gonna be blessed by what you shared with us today, man. We appreciate your time.
No problem, absolutely. I'm excited to listen to some of the other Millennial Moments as well. So I appreciate it, and God bless Friendly Temple.
Absolutely.